Hey everyone, it's Lizzie and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I filmed and updated my budget with you all and just shared myself here on YouTube. To kind of give you a fast forward, we paid off one of our credit cards and now we're rolling that debt over and doing the snowball method to the second debt, which is a second credit card. This year we're paying that card off. There's a couple of things that is in the works right now financially, and we hope to pay that card off here within the next few months. So I'm so excited to share and kind of give you an overview of what we are doing now. So as you can see, we are going to be laying out our paycheck budget, and I'm kind of doing things a bit different than what you had seen last. I'm really gearing towards simplicity. I believe that if you simplify things, routines, it can make a whole lot of a difference for you to be consistent with your budget and with anything, honestly, with anything that you have going on. So I had created a worksheet with the Google Sheets. What's nice is that you can view this on multiple devices as long as you have the Google Sheets on that device. So I'm able to kind of map out our budget. I have our bill tracker, and I'll show you how we utilize this. That way, I hope it will just inspire you to get on a written budget, but do it in a way that makes sense to you and your family. So let's go ahead and get started and sharing kind of what we have going on with our monthly bills. I have this little planner from the Angel shop, and I was like, you know what? I hadn't been using this. I've had this for over a year now, and I've only used it periodically, but I'm like, let me just, for video purposes, kind of write in what I have going on as far as like separating for bills, separating for a couple of sinking funds. So I very much simplified. It's a new one. Simplified our our budget breakdown and what we have to save for. So you'll see that, but this is kind of an overview of what our fixed expenses are. Comes out automatically. And then these here that I have bullet marked are the bills that we set aside for each paycheck. So we'll put a specific amount aside, and that's just because of the amount that we have to pay towards that bill. So a little bit higher bills, we will set money aside each paycheck or for a couple paychecks, so that way we're not overwhelmed come the due date and have it be a shock to us. We've prepared ahead of time. So this is kind of what it looks like. And then we do have some quarterly bills. I didn't write in anything for the water because I'm still trying to figure out what that is. Again, we had moved to this home in it was towards the last quarter of last year. And so I'm still trying to figure out like what is the quarterly amount. It's very small, so we'll see once we get the bill. So that's that. And then I just am setting funds aside for these bills. As you can see, annual bills, and then a couple of sinking funds. So let's go ahead and let me have this open. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in and kind of show you how I use the bill tracker sheet that's on this spreadsheet. And we're just going to transfer that information over on my paycheck budget. So hopefully this helps you kind of organize and plan for your finances. Okay, so here we are all zoomed in, and we have it's broken down into specific sections. So your income, we prioritize tithing. For those of you who are going to criticize me on that and say a bunch of names, thank you for engaging. So everyone obviously has their own opinions and beliefs in regards to tithing. Tithing is a part of what we believe to do, giving back to God, just a small percentage, and tithing helps the church and in doing that, it helps the community because our particular church does things for the community. And so that's what we do. Anyways, so giving is the second section, and then fixed expenses, variable expenses down here, our savings, cash envelopes, and I'm doing this for a reason, and then sinking funds. So this is how we have our budget broken down. So let's go ahead and see what is written in our bill tracker. So let me go ahead, open this up, and I have this bill tracker little spreadsheet written out. And when we write out our budget, we're going to go ahead and check box, put a little check that we have set that money aside for that given paycheck. So for this payday, these are the bills that we are going to set money aside and allocate for our spending. So we just have a few of these bills that we have to set money aside for. So I'm going to turn this aside, bill tracker on the one side, and then we can go ahead and plug in the numbers over here. So for rent, we are going to allocate $436.25. Netflix, $19.43. The loan, $198. Our electric is going to be $46.50. Nothing for iTunes. Garbage, $9.25. Car insurance, $34.06. $34.06. And then credit card, $35.25. And I think that is everything. Now I'm gonna go back to the bill tracker, and we're just gonna check those things off that we did set those funds aside. Okay. All right, so we have all of our fixed expenses, and all of this adds up and does the calculation for us on the spreadsheet, which is super nice. Our variable expenses, we have 3 different categories for this. So ease money, that's just to transfer into the account that we designate as my husband's account. And so he takes care of, like, we like to go and eat out periodically, and any of his like personal spending stuff, he prefers to use like that account. The next item is gas. So obviously this is for mine and my husband's fuel that we put in our cars. We do, both of us with our jobs, we do a lot of traveling. So I kind of go around to all of the different locations now in my job. So I don't know if I've updated you prior. I think I was still working at the call center of the job that I work at, but I recently transferred to a different position towards the end of last quarter. So a lot of changes at the end of last quarter. So I am now in a position where I kind of go wherever I'm needed. So I'll be scheduled at different locations each day, driving a lot. I'm probably going to change to a different position. So Lord willing, if an opportunity comes about for me, I will definitely be in prayer of that to see if this is where God wants me to go into. So we have to make sure that we set a good amount of money for gas in our cars. And then the last piece is the buffer. So this is funds that after we've put money aside for our bills, after we've put money aside for like our cash envelopes and everything, we want to make sure that there's still an amount left in our checking account, so we're not leaving at zero, just in case there's something that we maybe had ordered and we forgot to write it down, because hey, we're human, we make mistakes sometimes. We want to make sure that we have a buffer, and we usually budget every week $100 to just leave in our account. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. And then for our savings, we are currently good with our starter emergency fund. And because my husband now has a full-time job with a company. They take care of, the taxes being deducted from his payroll. So we really don't have to contribute much to taxes like we did in the past when he was self-employed, because we have to pay taxes, guys. Whatever's left over after we've broken things down for our cash envelopes and sinking funds, we want to put it as an extra debt payment. So for our cash envelopes, it's still grocery and miscellaneous or other. That still hasn't changed since the last time you've seen me. And our sinking funds, we have a couple of bills that come out quarterly. Oh, so I have to add in, water. So let me add this in. I forgot to adjust this. Water. Okay, forgot to add that in. So these bills here come out quarterly, are Mint Mobile and water. And then these are annual, so Prime membership and rent insurance. And then occasions, travel, and Christmas are savings. So as seen in the bill tracker, we don't have to put money for Mint Mobile for this pay because that's already been paid this month. Water, we're not setting anything aside right now. Well, actually, since we hadn't put anything aside, let's just apply $10 in there. I'm just gonna keep that in there. This is kind of the basics. So for gas, I do want to put 200 in there, the 100 for buffer. So I like to focus more on the important things. So obviously gas and having a cushion, that's important to us. And then we want to set money to buy food and then miscellaneous. So, and you can kind of see how we did this for the prior times. We've pretty much done the same thing. And that has worked pretty well for us. We're a family of 2. After we've allocated all of that, we are still left with $315.84 to break down in our budget. First thing, we have to prioritize our occasions. So we have birthdays coming up, and we are also going on a trip, and then the money for my husband, like for his spending. So what we're gonna do based on what I see written, we can put, let's see what we have currently in our travel, because I am getting a deposit that's fairly large. So there's currently $21.31 and nothing in occasions because we spent the funds in there. So we can make this like a whole number, maybe bring it to $50 for travel. So what is that? Minus 21.31. So $28.69 we can put for travel. $28.69. Occasions, because we have to get, I have a couple of my nephew's birthdays this month. One is coming up like this weekend, so I have to get a gift for him. And then of course my husband. So, but we have time to like put money aside for my husband too. So let's have that be 50. For Christmas challenge, we usually do 2 each week, so we can have it be a small amount. So we'll just do 7. We'll do the 6 and the 1 here. So we can put 7 in the Christmas challenge. Okay, so what is left? We can put 150 in my husband's account for the week, So that still leaves $80.15 left over. We want to budget everything out so we can make an $80.15 extra payment for our debt. So this is how we're breaking things down here. So we're gonna go ahead and update our little savings or our booklet here. So I'm gonna take the information that was written on the spreadsheet and we're just gonna add and update our bills and expenses. So today is the 28th. Guys, my birthday is tomorrow. I'm gonna be 34 years old. Oh my gosh, 34. So 4, 36, 25. So I have currently 1308. Let me actually zoom this out a bit more. 1308, 75 plus 436.25. So 1745. So I have to pay the rent. I figured I can go to the bank today to deposit our rent check. So I'll go ahead and do that. So that's been updated. We have our loan here. So let me update to 28, 198. So that's the 396. So we're good there. We didn't have to set anything aside for internet because if I remember right, internet, that is due on the 12th. So we'll complete that the next pay. So we're good there. Garbage. We are adding $9.25. $27.75. Car insurance. 3406. So there's currently 6812. Electric. Oh, we have the funds available on there, so I didn't have to set money aside for the electric bill. I forgot to update my bill tracker because this hasn't been paid yet. So we can clear this and clear this. Yep, so we are good with that. So that's good. I'm glad that I had this to check. So we have $126.65 that we can actually set aside for debt. Okay. So water, we don't know the amount, but we're going to set money aside. $10, just so that there's something in there. Mint Mobile, we don't have to set anything aside that because we just paid that this month. Same thing with Prime. There's currently a balance of $26 in there. Rent insurance, there's $42. Travel, there's the $21.31. But we're going to deposit $28.69. Just make sure that should be 50. Yep. $50. And then occasions, we are going to put 50. So there is $50 for occasions. So this is all updated and good to go. Now let's go ahead and update our Christmas. So we are going to do $7. So we're just going to color in 2 of these. Last year was our first year that we had reached our $1,000 Christmas balance, and I was so excited about that. And honestly, we realized that we have to add like an extra 100 for a couple of other things that we have going on. But to get started, we're just gonna start using this again. So super cute. Savings challenges and stuff can be found like on Etsy. You can make your own. If you want a video of like how to make something like this, let me know. I do have Canva tutorials. So I've heard it's been successful, like people following the tutorials. They've left me comments saying that it was helpful. I can definitely do another one if you want me to, because I've seen kind of an increase in interest in those videos, so let me know. But yeah, this is in a nutshell what our paycheck budget looks like for the last pay in February, you guys. That is everything for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future budget videos, and I will see you guys right back here for another one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.